Good boy. Hold on. Hold on. What's happening, everybody? So if you're in here, Black Lens, check this out. A lot of people have been unsubscribed. Not so much unsubscribed. Some people have been unsubscribed. People I know. I don't unsubscribe somebody unless they're just retarded as fuck. I block them. I don't just unsubscribe them. I block them. I can't unsubscribe nobody. I can block a person though. So if anybody's unsubscribed, that's YouTube. Like I said about when I had a light discussion with Kira Meal. Instagram security team, I guess it's not even about liberal or conservative, whatever that shit is. I just feel like maybe if you're teaching stuff and they don't want it done, or if they get, puppets, weak people who are put in positions, deactivate your accounts because they're cowards or because they think they're powerful, and that's not power. That's like a lot of y'all are voting for people because you're ignorance, right? And you think you're voting for a leader. The president is not your fucking leader. President has a job to do that depends on what you need and may require as far as the safety of the country. Nothing else. Like all this gun shit, that's because people have become dumb, because the Ashkenaz, a certain group of individuals, have usurped the government a long time ago once they killed Al Khan, Lincoln, a Negro, and it made it all this other fake history. And most people don't know that. People want to have first of all, I don't recognize the word black. So I know a lot of you young people kind of goofy in that blackdom shit. It's well known here that I don't partake in that. But I respect people until I realize that they're unrespectable. I'm incapable to have respect for them because they're too damn dumb. So maybe you might want to change that. Unless you just got enough idiots who want to go with that instead of educating them and raising them to a higher vibration and frequency. We are not fucking black. But with all due respect, all you have to do is comment one time. I have a Gmail. You see it in there? Hit that up and we could have a personal conversation, a phone conversation. It's real simple. Many people have done that now. And they've got to meet me on another level, and some in person. All right? I mean, it's not that I want to offend anybody. I mean, I would like to apologize to anyone I haven't offended yet. Just hold the fuck up. I'll get there. And why am I like this? Because we deal with a world of too many stupid people that need to come out of stupidity. When they say, come out of that religious shit. Yeah, well, there's some of us who are old enough who are not broken. Well, we hurt and we have pain for all those under us. And we have to be the crux to fix what our parents fucked up. That's right. Our grandparents, my great-grandparents, they loved the children, but they know they were fucking up. I sit with my grandmother in her 90s, chefing for her, cleaning out her porta potty. I'm a nurse. I'm not working as a nurse. I am a fucking nurse. All right? Hell, I'm a medicine man, a real one. I hate the term medicine man, but yes, with grace. And I took care of her, and she was surprised. I was like, Mama, you did that for me, even when you had to come and take me out of the home I was being abused. And you took us and kept us together, part of our traditions and our ways. When I was speaking earlier, what cracks me up about a lot of you black motherfuckers that want to be from Africa, who get a little emotional because of these ideologies of foreign narratives to which nobody's foreign on this earth. Maybe a certain group of individuals are. We'll worry about that later. But let's keep the Willy Bobo. Here in America, there were more people than there were in Europe and Africa. Africa didn't exist until the friggin' 1800s, so just shut up, all right? Here in Brazil, they had more people, 14 to 20 million people, more than all of Sweden, Belgium, Ukraine, all them places together. And then all of a sudden, all of us died out, and Europe became 180 million from 14 million, and we became 10 million. Yeah, you can't make this up. Africa all of a sudden jumped up 30 million. Like, make it make sense. And then when I told people about our people birthing into the world, at least 200 plus pale-skinned babies every year when we started eating meat. Africa, 640 fruits and vegetables, been over there 20 times. Got good friends who know what I know, who are older than me. War is a destructive narrative, and only one generation to change any of it. 600 of those foods are from here, North and South America, so-called North and South America. I don't recognize none of that shit either. Do you know in the Vatican, when they started infighting, like they always goddamn do, you see Ukraine and Russia, those are relatives. They're all relatives. They're all blood relatives. As stupid as they are enjoying murdering each other, right? Something that we never partook in, okay? So this shit gets under my cuticles, man. Okay. Let me cool out. Let me cool it down. Let me back it up a little bit. Let's just put it like this. I see so many fucking absurdities. All of a sudden, we just disappeared. I came over here and motherfuckers didn't even know what Anasazi was. They were like, how does this guy come from the East Coast knowing that Anasazi means our enemies? Because that's what you are. It's like the fake ass police. I don't answer fucking questions. You don't talk to me, motherfucker. It's not with purpose of good. You let me know about the fucking road ahead. You let me know if any buildings collapse. You let me know that there aren't no animals crossing the motherfucking fairway in travels. Other than that, keep the fuck on your business, because you ain't going to sit here with your retarded ass low IQ self, all with your Asperger's syndrome and everything else, thinking that because you went to war that you was a bad motherfucker, and talk to me as if I'm going to tell on myself as if I've done something wrong. Fuck out of here. But y'all don't know that, because in the Bill of Rights, you are sovereign to the Republic. I don't know about all this U.S. shit. That's the catch-22 of their perversion, how they, and these stupid motherfuckers they nurtured to believe in that who don't even know what the fucking law is. Like so many of you. You want to have a conversation? First, level the fuck up. Or ask dynamically a different way. See, everybody wants to call me a chief and a teacher. And if that's the case, that's how I'm going to respond. And those will respect it. Other than that, I don't give a fuck about people's argumentative mannerisms, their moral stature, and the fact they don't want to take pictures of half-naked women and every fucking dumbass shit that goes along with dumbass Ice Spice and all these other retarded motherfuckers. Cardi B's retarded monkey ass. All of them. Because y'all are stuck there doesn't mean that you have to remain there. Stupid motherfuckers hold themselves in a place that they should not. Yes, I'm going to greet people in different languages because the earth belongs to all of us. It's a beautiful place. And our mentality makes it ugly. You come on here, speak, hit the light, or get the fuck gone. Let me go ahead and get to reading. I'm tired of retarded, weak-ass cowards who come here, especially people I grew up with. They come over here looking like a retard, like I really can't see who they are. I'm so done with that. That's why I haven't said nothing. I just look at them, I'm like goofy nigga. There goes a relative of mine looking fucking foul. Yeah, you know what? I'm 57 in these fake ass years. I believe I'm much older. Okay? And I'm tired of dealing with people who carry themselves infinitesimal in an infant state of mind, and yet the babies know more than we know. And then the doctors come along with their sadistic, mangless shit. And then the people who are back and support the goofy shit, and then the babies are cut off. Just like when the doctor goes in and cuts the umbilical cord, which should never fucking happen. That umbilical cord should be with that baby, and that motherfucker goes flat and falls the fuck off. While being breast goddamn fed, getting the cholesterol and all that good shit, that baby's going to be a motherfucking giant, a monster among men, a god. pale skins came here, you couldn't even make it past 45 and 50. The ones that lived up to 70, 80, that's because the shit that was going on is unbeknownst to you people. Prove me wrong. That's enough of that. Some Afro beats, y'all. Let's get into this. All right, we're gonna pick it up, and I told you I was gonna read Robin Cottrell, Custodians of Time, and then we'll get into Navigator across the iceberg, the ice walls. Okay. Oh, and Oklahoma, if you're in here, appreciate it. Brother donated 10. Mad love and respect for you, brother. It's in there with the other 30 something because you know last time, which got I got all of it. I ordered, what was it, like 12 books. I've got well over 50 now. I got well over that. I'm not gonna tell y'all because I know y'all be like, this guy keeps ordering like we're gonna. You're not. Majority of you ain't donating nothing, so shut up. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into this and read this, and we'll go into the Navigator across ice walls, and then we'll take it down for a little while. I was thinking about doing a podcast, so I'm gonna reach out to my brothers. I'm gonna talk about it. A lot of people know that I'm doing the Sonora and Desert Institute gunsmithing. I'm a welder, local 4. I can't go out no more like I used to. I used to love going out for a month here, you know, making $25 to $35 an hour is just marvelous when you work 8 to 10 hours a night. And you're out there working 6 days a week because it's just, you know, at electric coal fire plants. My knees swell up, my back, you know, it gets tight. I mean, you know, I do ice baths and I'm right back to work and it's all good. And it's not what you think it is. It's because I've had damage, I've had surgery. 1,000-pound, 500-pound bombs do a lot of bad things. I really want to go out there. I can go out and take the stick test anytime. TIG, MIG, stick, whatever. And pass it and go back and work just for a week. Just to make that extra little change. Just to, you know, purchase some more gold or whatever, right? And but no. So I like the gunsmithing. My brother Rondo had a question, and though I know a lot of information, I love to be able to pull up information very quickly because it's, you know, I'm about to buy an AK-47, and I've owned 2 years ago on the res, and I gave one away to a World War II vet, and he gifted it to his son, who was retired Air Force, a wonderful guy, good friend of mine, Navajo, and well, he's Navajo, he's half us and Navajo, and the other one I sold to the gas station owner. Very good, exceptional friend. But I was a shady tree mechanic that could fix his truck. So anyway, so I plan on buying another one, and they're easy to work on. So my brother Rondo, you know, I gave him the information he required, and I hope it was good enough. If he comes up here, we can jerry rig and fix anything. Even though I don't have all the tools, you usually get all the tools. I don't have all the tools, and I'm not just going to be throwing hundreds of dollars everywhere all the time. So let's get into this. Custodians of Time, Robert Cottrell. We kill it, we save it, we rob, and we are robbed of it. We lose it, and it is with us I want y'all to figure out this. Listen, we kill it, we save it. Pay attention. We rob, and we are robbed of it. We lose it, and it is with us everywhere we go. But none of us has the power to stop it marching or to stop it at all. What is it? Type it in there. Pearl, I'm live. What is it, people? I want y'all to see a picture. I'm going to share this with you. So anyway, Anubis, he's on the right, the jackal-headed Egyptian god of the dead. And Seti, left, is the god of deserts, storms, disorder, violence, and foreigners in ancient Egyptian religion. Foreigners, the bringer forth of those who are not meant to be here, who give chase. Okay. I appreciate you all coming in. Share this. You can share it now to bring them in. So anyway, the author is Robert Robbie Cottrell. Not our brother Cottrell from Louisiana. That's on the Pima Res. A pale skin, of course. Not knocking, because, you know, when they write something, they write it in the dynamic that fits and suits them. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into it. I showed all this before. If you didn't go back and listen to it, it's on you. And then you have Rosalind Juma, is a highly respected and talented poet. Ian Nicholson, author and editor, and Tony Montchurch, author and mentor. So, you know, whenever they write something, it's going to fit a narrative. But we cut through that because we have more knowledge. And you got to look at the time when this was produced, printed, co-authored, or whatever you want to say it, okay? Especially when you're dealing with King's College Hospital of London, all right? So that should speak volumes. Because everything they write, because this is published in 2020, just to let y'all know. Yes, there's some books I ordered because it was the figdemic, and I felt it was paramount and important to read at that time if you go back and look at my videos. All right? So Custodians of Time, Robbie Cottrell, and you know what they're going to put there. That has nothing to do with the Masonic Order, nothing. That does have everything to do with the Illuminati, which is, we can do a podcast on all that. For those who are in the knowing. And I'm not talking about you people with your little fake Mason background, because you sit there and shut, ain't no secret. People shudder at me because of what I learned when I was in Edinburgh, Scotland, and England, and who I dealt with and talked to. The little niggas over here who all been walking and all that other perversions that y'all do. Yeah. Nah, I know a whole lot more than y'all do. Masons in my family. Disrespectful bastards. The Custodians of Time. The Custodians of Time are a covert, clandestine society consisting only of elevated, knowledgeable men. They have sworn on everything they hold holy to protect time against anyone who might try to control or interfere with time. That's the destruction of true history and the reconstruction of another. The custodians have sworn to protect mankind's past, a complete lie. It must be stated that just one stuttering shift in time, however minute, would have devastating consequences for the future of humanity. And the golden rule is that men must not travel to the future. So what these individuals did right here was to paint a sweeter light of the custodians compared to the true darkness of who they are. They not only protect man's past, but also constantly monitor the future. In case any leaders aspire to create a time machine, the custodians have always considered that humans possess a mental capacity and capability which no other animal has, and accept that some men have already mentally traveled through time. If history ever appeared that it might be altered by the outcome of a quarrel, the all-seeing eye of the custodians would immediately be alerted, and it must be stated that Surion, Lord of the Rings, stated that they would never tolerate any tampering with time. Man should never play God, to which we are all. Isn't that amazing? Excuse me. I'm going to beat through all that in the introduction. I'll come back later and read all that stuff. I'm not going to go through all that again. You can go back and watch my own videos if that's what you want. So let's get into past heroes. No, we're not, because that's poems, and we could do that one. So let's go into session one. The poems I will do at another time. They're pretty decent. You can go back, way back, and look for the videos. Watch the videos as you go back. Do a brother an encounter a favor. So, session one, first encounter, recorded Wednesday, 8th January, 2020. Who was present? Dr. William Bullis, Professor Charles Appleyard, and DCI Marcus Thomas. Detective Chief Inspector Marcus E. Thomas. Telephone rang while he was about to finish his breakfast. Marcus was none too pleased about the intrusion. Damn, if it's that important, they will ring back or probably call me on the mobile. Sure enough, 20 seconds later, his mobile rang, just as he was slipping his last piece of buttered toast into his mouth. This is England now. Mindset, persons, place, peoples, you dig? If they had only waited another 20 seconds, he could have washed it down with his second mug of strong tea. Marcus switched the device on and, holding it to his ear, shouted, "Yes? Who's this?" Thomas instantly regretted raising his voice as he quickly realized the call. This is how I'm writing my screen. Yeah, it's a work in progress. I had to take a couple of days off, y'all. It's a lot. I wrote a lot. I got to go in and get rid of some things. Anyway, quickly realized the caller was none other than his assistant commissioner. He apologized for his sour persona by telling the commissioner he thought it was his mother-in-law ringing. Oh, they got that conundrum. "Yes, sir, I agree. I'll be there in just over 15 minutes. Thank you, sir. Goodbye." Debbie Thomas only heard her husband's replies, but she knew to whom her husband was groveling. "Was that the assistant commissioner, dear?" Debbie shouted after her husband. "What do you want for dinner tonight, dear?" No reply. She watched from the bay window as Marcus shuffled down the driveway to his car before Debbie answered her own question. "I'll take that to be a curry. Takeaway, shall I?" And Debbie clutched the teacups. What was that? Okay. Debbie clutched the teacup lovingly in her hand as she wondered whatever she saw in her husband of 20-odd years. Yeah. You can't kiss your old lady out, rolling out the door. Something wrong with you, and be sweet. I don't care if you had a bad night. You better, man. Y'all better man up. Get that androcone right. "Marcus Thomas, you are a bloody, cantankerous old sod." "Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir." "Oh, well, at least I'll have the day to myself." And Debbie settled into her comfy armchair. That's her repeating him, just to let y'all know. Debbie settled into her comfy armchair in the lounge, magazine in hand, and sipped her tea in peace. She considered going shopping, but then she remembered, sod, this bloody lockdown. And DCI Marcus Thomas. Yes, the COVID, y'all. DCI Marcus Thomas gave a half-hearted salute, and he hurried past the armed officers, standing to attention either side of the hospital ward entrance. He hurried through the small private room where 2 men were waiting for his arrival. Marcus kept his cap on until he was safely inside the small side room adjacent to the main ward. Marcus surveyed his surroundings before removing his cap. He was pleased to see Bill Bullis, whom he already knew. The other introduced himself as Charles Appleyard, or to be precise, Professor Appleyard. Appleyard tried to smile, but it seemed obvious that Inspector Thomas was not in a happy mood. Thomas, not being a natural charmer, was not overly impressed by what he saw, and Professor Appleyard appeared much younger than Thomas anticipated. Marcus hated it when kids were trying to, especially when it came to police business. "Professor of what, exactly?" Marcus spat back in annoyance. Ignoring the question, Appleyard brought Inspector Thomas up to date regarding what had happened, as well as offering opinions about the man the DCI was about to meet. The man. "We will leave it for you to decide," Appleyard retorted, "and whether you think our patient is a paranoid schizophrenic or drug addict with hallucinations or a terrorist with murderous intentions." Thomas swallowed hard. He only had a few more months before his retirement. And the last thing he needs right now was to interrogate a potential terrorist. The strain was showing on his face. Thomas knew he was out of condition, and his trousers were creased, and his jacket barely fitted, and he had often considered purchasing a wig, but he knew Debbie would take the piss. If only these damn lockdowns would finish, he could go shopping. He certainly needed a new suit, and Marcus was also thinking about what, boy? His lump sum tax-free pension, as well as the other benefits that accompanied his rank. What has he said up until now? Marcus asked, with directing his question to anyone in particular. And Charlie Appleyard was first to reply to the question. What hasn't he said? We can't stop him from talking. And Thomas eyed the patient with complete indifference before asking Billy Bullis about the injuries the man had suffered. Bullis explained his patient had 2 broken legs, a broken pelvis, and a fractured skull, all consistent with what you would probably get by standing in front of as a car traveling at over 40 miles per hour. Marcus decided that it was time to find out more about this man based upon that. What is your name? Oh, how's this? Hey, Mike, what is your name? Hey, lad, what's your name there? Well, anyway, Thomas didn't get a response, but then the injured man suddenly addressed the room like an amateur Shakespearean actor about to spout forth his lines. The three men listened intently as the patient began to speak. Have you wondered why I have not given you my name? Despite having been brought into A&E, I would have thought that such details were highly significant. But all the doctors want me to do is to stop talking, which doesn't make sense to me. Surely my injuries are more important than my name. I have a question for you, gentlemen. Have you ever wondered whether important events in our past could or should be altered? And if so, what might the result of such an alteration be? Let's call it a what if scenario. And we'll pick up on the next part tomorrow. I enjoy doing that. Just to let y'all know. I really don't want to mark this book. I'm just going to put a little this right here. Oh, it's a little japped up and everything. This is what I do. Not out of Africa. We can get into that. Let's get into the navigator who crossed the ice walls, worlds beyond Antarctica, and lost confounded by our brother Claudio Nocelli. Don't worry, there's 2 more books to go with this. I'm still waiting on that other one. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to remember. Did I order it at the same time or did I order it different? I got to get some more coconut water. I could drink coconut water all freaking day. All right, let's get into it, guys. I hope the reading's going good. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Oh, yeah. Here we go, y'all. Y'all ready for the human reset? Are y'all ready for the human reset? Let's get into it. Oh, it starts getting good. Because see, after the human reset, well, when we get there, I'll let you know. On a clear night, we could see in the distance different lights that went from east to west, illuminating the way in our hopes in a mild but very dark night. Butler observed the group that was stupefied by such beauty. It was a giant and silent city. It seemed an electric world out of a book by Thomas Brown. It's a good book to look at too. Thomas Brown, it's small, but it's good. Based on Tartarian. We decided not to wait any longer in unknown waters because of the possibility of being attacked by an enemy that we still did not know because of the warning of the ship that had intercepted us and when we crossed the walls and alerted us about the danger and about the supposed war that was being fought. Although we were supposed to have arrived to safe lands, nothing seemed safe at that time. We arrived at the port of what looked like a large and modern city, and we were on deck waiting to be received. In less than 2 minutes, several agents dressed in similar uniform that those on that ship prior were wearing approached us. And in a very respectful way, they welcomed us. Welcome to the Ancestral Republic, one of them pronounced with shaking hands with Butler. We are happy of your visit to our lands. It was something unthinkable. We were informed that you would come, but anyway, we could not believe it until we saw it with our own eyes. Your visit is so rare, not to say impossible, but there and here is our joy to receive you, he pronounced. Yes, it should say announced, but it says pronounced. I'm not making it up. Y'all know I make corrections. Butler thanked on behalf of the whole boat and introduced me as the owner of the boat. I was going through all the emotions together that can be imagined and immediately wanted my questions to be answered, although the fear of being in an unknown land in many occasions overcame the strong emotion of having discovered something immense. I was carried away by the latter. I think the immenseness, y'all. I think the whole team started with the idea that this trip had every chance of going wrong. Excuse me. But here we were in the land behind Antarctica and being welcomed by citizens of a modern city. it was time to ask everything. Discovery of something is immense is the latter. My apologies, people. It is an honor to visit these lands that until today were unknown to us, I proclaimed. Before I mentioned anything else, this agent interrupted me, saying that he had to take me to the office of the President of the Republic himself, since our visit was almost unprecedented. That furthermore, the President was aware of it and had notified that we take him immediately to him. He asked me to accompany him, and looking at Butler, who nodded his head, I went after him among some people who observed the situation. We were strangers who came from inhospitable lands, and I think this generated such confusion in people as in ourselves. A vehicle that I had never seen in all my life was waiting for us. There was not even a corner, at least in this part of the city, that was not reached by the illumination by the great lanterns that adorned and generated the sensation of being in a tale of the best writers. It makes me think about when I was a kid and looking at the street lights. You remember the lantern ones that you still had back then on the brick roads? The brick roads. I grew up with brick roads, people. I sure did. And plenty of tartary around, surprisingly. A vehicle, yeah. Anyway, the silence of the city was now more understandable, knowing that there were no carriages, horses, or any type of vehicle that I knew from my experience in big cities like New York. Excuse me. We'll start that nonsense. The difference was abysmal in everything. Their clothes were also colorful. The agent that accompanied me had in his hands a luminous device that transmitted different images and voices. The language that was spoken was different, and I did not understand a single word. A huge stone building stood out amongst the rest. With large and clear letters, it said, Presidential Office Rebirth. And the flag of his country was highlighted by a perfect illumination. The blue circle in the center seemed to stand out. We know that it was a white circle. When we arrived, I followed the agent until we entered this immense building. There were connections for the passage between each room, and there were seats of different types. Now the lighting was dim, and when passing to one of those rooms, I touched one of the walls, which were as cold as marble. I had again some fear about everything I was living. I understood the protocol that our visit was not common, but I was already dizzy between so many stairs we climbed. The agent asked me to wait for him in one of the comforting seats. And the truth is that I could have waited there for hours. The comfort of those were indescribable. A tall man with a mustache came out to greet me. So you are William Morris. You remember Mr. Professor Morris, right? In the Iron Republic. Well, there we go. From the United States of America, he asked. That's right, I answered. This gentleman shook me tightly by the hand, commenting that he was sorry to receive me in one of the worst situations experienced in that republic. In fact, he commented as follows. My name is Thael. I am sorry that you have arrived in these times. We are going through, it would have been totally different, your visit, and our reception in normal situations. You will now know how to understand now when I put it in context. I had so much confusion and questions that I could not say, and it sounds confusing. Well, hold on. I could not say a single word. You see, Mr. Morris, the situation is extreme, and there are moments of tension. This war was usually seen from afar, and now we are part of it. I should explain in many points for you to understand, but I will have to be limited because I have many men selling at the time, and they need valuable information. I nodded my head as if pretending to understand everything, only to give way to the story. Hence, some answers that could place me in a situation. Maybe you don't fully understand it yet. We are part of what we would call, or could call, the old humanity. I mean, we were not part of the last reboot process. Do you understand me? I would have every desire to be able to say that I understand, but the truth is that I am lost in all this. What do you refer to as an ancient humanity, and how many humanities existed or existed? By the way, George, there were many humanities in different times, as well as there were many resets or reboots. This happens every certain time already stipulated, or it is done before that date for external reasons. I mean, in a way, intentionally created before reaching that time. As far as we know, here in reality, it always happens this way, since the natural way is always also carried out by the same and by manipulating the environment where you come from. Do you get me? Oh, what is this human reset? The reboot is a process that carries out in their lands to annihilate every human being, leaving only their newborn babies to repopulate those lands and carry out the same process over and over again. The reason for the reboot, according to our information, is carried out when something gets out of the control of those who rule on the other side of the ice walls. The factors can be several, and they do not doubt it. Believe me, the knowledge of other lands can lead to a reset. It could be by pests, floods, fires, plagues, wars, missiles, or war bombs they call asteroids. Or it could be all that together. It doesn't matter how. The fact that we have escaped before is reason enough of a threat for them not to want us breathing. Do you understand me now, Mr. Williams? My head was spinning. I felt dizzy and thought I would fall there in front of this Mr. Fayel. While I understood the situation, I could not believe that all that was happening in the lands where I was born, I couldn't believe it. I sat up in a hurry and started to sweat cold. I understand your feelings, Mr. William. I wanted to go straight to the raw history so you can understand the situation. Understand the situation? There is much more to know, but you will learn it with the days in your stay here. Although these lands are considered out of the conflict, nothing and no one is out of this conflict in these days. Now, if you allow me, I am sorry that the conversation has been so short, but I must leave urgently. He shook my hand again and rushed back into a room. The agent next to me looked me in the eyes as if he understood my pain for the lands I was leaving behind. It was before and after. I could not believe that all this was happening. We returned to my boat where I had many things to tell the group, and Butler was not there. And so I gathered everyone and told them the situation and how little I understood of everything I had experienced in President Fayel's office. Now, the group was more stunned than me, and they began to question me that I should have, asked this or that. You know how we do. Man, you should have asked this. Man, why didn't you ask this question? As if we was there. Anywho, but with a confused mind immersed in the darkness of the story told, it becomes difficult to even breathe. We were all in a crisis of not having anything clear. I began to ask whether Butler had gone. Where had Butler had gone? My apologies. Excuse me. I began to ask where Butler had gone, and they told me that he had left the boat as soon as I left with the agent. And we do not know where he was going. Again, we lost Butler, but now in unknown lands. And we were silent, pensive. All this was going around in my head. The old humanity, the death, all this was happening in his head, y'all. The old humanity, the death of all of us intentionally. Who could carry out all these macabre plans, and with what intention? When all this came to my mind, a deafening sound suddenly invaded from the skies, and an explosion made us lie on the ground. The earth shook, and the water shook our ship, as if it were made of paper. Everything exploded around us. Our eyes were wide open, and we did not understand what was happening. We ran to the deck and saw the worst war landscape that anyone could observe. Not even in our times of war we lived something similar. Everything was destroyed. People screamed in the streets. An alarm sound was activated. Who knows where, but it was heard throughout the city. A voice tried to calm people down, but it was too late. They had reached the ancestral republic. Next, we'll get into chapter 6. And that's where we get into the Anakim, the giants of the South. Oh, y'all gonna like this. Oh, it's gonna get good. I hope y'all enjoyed that read. I really do. Appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. I need to go and pick up some coconut water. I'm drinking. Let me. I've never been so refreshed in my life. Though I'm tired, my body's responding to all the good things I'm putting in it, and the intermittent fasting. And the body should have at least 10 hours of sleep a day. Are y'all aware of that? Anyway, again, Oklahoma, if you came in, appreciate that $10, beloved. It's going to go to the next batch of books, man. And I'm going to take my time collecting. Well, not too much, because like I said, I'll probably take $250 and I got to go deposit $500 in the account because I went over my deductible. So I'm going to deposit the $500. And what I'll do is I'll make sure when I get my pension, it's about $5,000, that I take $250, whatever's matched to this next batch, I'll order, because it's like I said, I got over 50 books. I'll order enough of the books, you know, whether it's $500 worth or whatever, because some of the books are like $40 and $50. So, you know, that kind of, I really want good books. I really take my time. I even look at PDFs and stuff that, like, I can't read the whole book where I can look at the first like 15 pages. And I'm like, that's the book I would like to have. And you know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. So I appreciate you. And anybody else, if you donate, appreciate you. I have to wait and see. I appreciate it again. Allow me this old bag of bones here to read to you guys. I really, really, hey, nice son. I really appreciate you guys. Let me shout you guys out. Let me get off here. I got to go pick up some coconut water, people, because I'm out. Hey, T. Hines, what's going on, beloved? Hey, Snoop, what's up, baby? Go, Mikey Hill, beloved, what's going on? Katiana, oh, wow. Awesome. Your grandfather's last name, no doubt. Awesome. Scott, what's going on, beloved? Hey, well, it's good to see you all in here, Scott. Hey, Westside, what's going on? Chattahaya was in here? Oh, Chattahaya. Okay. I didn't even know that. All right. Baby, don't live longer. Yes. We breastfed a lot of babies, and they take on because of their DNA. They have such research done to on breast milk prove this. Oh yeah, I know, but I know you're right, very correct. Hey, Alfred Harden, what's going on? Yes, you are very correct, honey. Yep, custodians, cura mia, pura vida. What's going on? Tu familia, Mayakam, what's going on? Hava, number love, brother. Yeah, I caught your last videos. I'm sharing them. Stu been like, she been getting me to your dang videos, bro. What's going on with that? And a couple other brothers are in there too, so it's good. A lot of them. So, and I share it with the brothers and sisters, especially on Facebook. And it's good to see you back on Instagram. Y'all, he's back on Instagram. Get your butts over there, all right? All right, our brother's back on there. The cobblestone roads, yes. Damn, I was like, I know he got his, I know you was in the crypt this morning, man. I know you got your little 3-4 hours because the sunlight came up and it was real bright, bro. So I know you rested. You get the good, you get the old positive or old negative. Nice, son. What's going on? We got ganja water and hey, look, man, Vampire Chronicles. Y'all better stay with it. You dig what I'm saying? Let me get out of here. Go pick up my coconut water. And y'all know I showed y'all this, right? I'm converting one of my rifles to 12-inch. Well, not the rifle. It's still gonna be an 18-inch. But the 12-inch as far as where I can port all my little things on it. So take that all and bring it back to 12. Probably do earth brown. So yeah, that is, if you see that? That is a stainless steel gas tube, you guys, 12-inch. All right. See that part right there? That lock pin. See that right there? Well, if you ever learn how to build a rifle, there you go. All right. Number love to my beloved sisters, my brothers, 2 and 1. May grace be with you guys.